Hello and welcome to Geeky Most Foul, and this is my weekly review of Doctor Who, Season 6, Episode 11, The God Complex. Now, this episode was good. It kept up the high standards from the last episode, and I was rather pleased with it. The story itself, a rather interesting reinterpretation of the Minotaur myth, just simply by adding the psychological aspect of the different fears in each room. This I liked. And I especially like the fact that she had one for the Doctor. And of course they didn't show it because they never show any proper information about the Doctor whatsoever, but I'm used to that by now. And it's a good closing point for Amy Pond's character. Her entire life has revolved around her encounter with the Doctor, and it has shaped her as she grew up. So giving her a bit of closure as she sees the Doctor for who he really is at the end of it, just growing up from that little girl who's so enamoured with this hero worship of the Doctor into a woman who understands he is a flawed person. And I love the fact that they used her appearing as little Amy while they did that. Which is good because it goes back to the old saying that, you know, you stop being a child and start being a teenager when you realise your parents have faults and aren't always right. You stop being a teenager and become an adult when you forgive your parents for not being perfect. And this worked well for Amelia. She grows into adulthood here when she realises the Doctor's not perfect, that, you know, he is selfish, he lies, and he doesn't always make things better. He's a person just like you and me. And she grows into adulthood and is left at the end, spoilers, to live an adult life with Rory. And I enjoyed that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm sure they're going to be back a few more times, but it was nice to close out to the characters. And I like the fact that Rory's pretty much, they say he's ready to go home anyway, and he's basically expecting to die on a TARDIS adventure somewhere anyway. The monster was good. Definitely a step up from the Horns of Nimon, which I'm quite glad to see compared to. For those who don't know, Horns of Nimon was one of Tom Baker's stories, and it's rather one of the worst. Shoddy budget, overacting, and a horrible storyline. That's also a story that's meant to be a sci-fi version of the Minotaur myth. So, overall, quite a good episode. Had some brilliant character development, which is always better than just flashy stuff going on. Bits I didn't like. The David Walliams character. Now, I'm going to be open ahead of time. I don't really like David Walliams, but his character seemed rather pointless. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was good when they started making him out to be a bit more sinister and self-serving with the aggressive cowardice. But he just could have easily gone better places. So, yeah, I'll make this quick. My reviewing is 3 TARDISes out of 5. Well, I'm really looking forward to next week's episode, Return of the Cybermen. Right, well, see you all. Good night.